Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're putting on our detective hats to solve a bit of a medical mystery. We've got a lineup of suspects, 4 different statements about a group of skin infections, and, well, one of them is an imposter.
Okay, let's dive right into our central mystery. We're looking at these fungal infections called dermatophytoses. You can see 4 statements on your screen right now. A says Tinea imbricata is caused by Trichophyton concentricum. B claims Trichophyton schoenleini causes tinea favosa and shows a pink glow under a woods lamp. C states that the most common fungi behind onychomycoses are Trichophyton and Epidermophyton. And finally D, that carrion is a seriously inflammatory form of tinea capitis. Now 3 of these are totally true, but one is a lie, designed to throw us off. Our job? Let's figure out which one it is.
So, first things first, let's get a handle on the crime scene. We're dealing with dermatophytoses. Basically, these are infections from a very particular group of fungi called dermatophytes. And you can think of them as tiny organisms with a very specific diet, keratin. You know, that tough protein that makes up our skin, our hair, our nails, and that's exactly where these infections pop up.
Like any good detective, we've got to build our case by verifying the facts. So we're going to start by interrogating our first 3 suspects, that's statements A, C, and D, and see if their stories actually hold up.
First up is statement A. It's claiming a direct link between Tinea imbricata, which is this really distinct-looking skin infection, and the fungus Trichophyton concentricum. And you know what? This is a solid fact. Tinea imbricata creates these very recognizable, almost beautiful overlapping rings on the skin, and yep, science has definitively linked it to this one specific fungus. So we can say with confidence that statement A is telling the truth. It checks out.
All right, let's jump over to statement C. This one's about onychomycosis, which is just a fancy medical term for a fungal infection of the nail. It says that fungi from the Trichophyton and Epidermophyton families are the usual culprits, and this one absolutely holds up. In fact, most of the time, it's a single species, Trichophyton rubrum, that's behind nail fungus all around the world. So yeah, statement C is also cleared. It's true.
Now for statement D, which talks about a condition called quirion. It's described as an intense, highly inflammatory form of scalp fungus or tinea capitis. And this is 100% correct. A quirion isn't just a simple little infection. Oh no, it's a full-blown battle between the fungus and your body's immune system right there on your scalp.
And this right here shows you exactly why a quirion is so severe. It's basically your own immune system just launching this massive counterattack against the fungus. This crazy intense reaction is often triggered by fungi that jump from animals to humans. Our bodies see those as especially foreign. The whole system just goes into overdrive, creating this painful pus-filled lesion that, unfortunately, can lead to permanent hair loss if it's not treated fast. So yeah, statement D is definitely true.
So wait a minute. If A, C, and D are all confirmed as true, our process of elimination points directly to one suspect, doesn't it? It has to be statement B. That's our imposter. Now let's find the smoking gun.
And here it is. This is our smoking gun. Statement B claims that tinea favosa glows pink under a woods lamp, which is a special kind of UV light. But that's just not right. Tinea favosa, the one caused by T. schoenleini, actually gives off a pale green or a yellow-green glow. So what about that pink or coral red glow? Well, that's the signature of a completely different condition, a bacterial infection called erythrosma. Case closed. The color was the crucial clue all along.
Okay, so we've unmasked our imposter, but let's zoom out for a second. The story of these fungi is actually woven into the history of medicine and even our relationship with the animal kingdom in some really fascinating ways.
Remember how we said that fungi from animals can cause a much more violent reaction in humans? Well, here are 3 perfect examples. Microsporum canis often lives totally harmlessly on a cat, but because our human immune system isn't used to it, it can cause a really aggressive carrion in a child. And it's the same story for fungi from hedgehogs and cattle. This jump from animal to human, a zoonosis, it just triggers a much more intense inflammatory alarm in our bodies.
And this is where the story gets even bigger. You see, our modern understanding of these seemingly simple infections really stands on the shoulders of scientific giants. Robert Koch's methods, they gave us the tools to identify these culprits in the first place. Paul Ehrlich's Nobel-winning work on immunity, that's what explains why our bodies react so fiercely. And even Alexander Fleming's discovery of penicillin, which itself came from a fungus, opened the door to developing the powerful antifungal drugs we use today.
So we've followed the clues, we've solved the mystery.
What are the most important lessons to take away from our little investigation into this fungal impostor?
Let's do a quick recap of the essential facts. Tinea favosa glows green, not pink. If you see pink, you're thinking bacteria. Acurion is a massive immune overreaction. Fungi that come from animals tend to cause a lot more trouble. And finally, a really practical tip. That stubborn nail fungus almost always needs oral medication because topical creams just can't get deep enough to where the infection is living.
And just to make sure the core facts about Tinea favosa really stick with you, here's a super handy mnemonic using the word favus. It covers everything: the green fluorescence, the agent, the color it is not, its unique cup-shaped crusts, and even its characteristic smell. It's a great exam tip.
And we'll end on this final thought, which is maybe the biggest takeaway from our entire investigation. When these fungi jump from animals to humans, they just cause so much more noise, more inflammation. It's a powerful reminder that in medicine, the real drama often comes not from the invading bug itself, but from our own body's powerful and sometimes self-destructive reaction to it. The host's response is every bit as important as the bug itself.